Hello, welcome to another video of Movie Master Micah. Today, I am doing a double review. These two movies I'm going to review is Se7en, which I watched on Friday, and Arrival, which I watched earlier today, about an hour or two ago. Both of these movies are flippin' masterpieces. I'm going to go by order on which I watched them, so I'll talk about Se7en first. Se7en is insane. David Fincher so far has not missed my favorite movie of all time, Fight Club, and then Se7en. Se7en's really good. Very dark movie. Very dark, with the whole ending, which I'll get to. But yeah, if you don't know what it's about a murderer who's killing everyone in the sense of the 7 deadly sins. He uses a deadly sin to kill someone. For example, a fat man for gluttony, a lawyer for greed, lying to get as much money as he can, etc. This movie's insane. The acting is so good. Gwyneth Paltrow, Morgan Freeman, Kevin Spacey, Brad Pitt, all masterful acting. Literally, the last 20 minutes are actually maybe the best ending 20 minutes of all time. Maybe. Probably not. But, one of the best endings of all time. Now, this is insane, right? I feel like the first act is a bit slow, right? The first act, I feel like they could have sped it up a little bit. That was my only big problem with the movie. There's this little compilation part of them, looking for clues, and there's, Morgan Freeman's in the library and stuff, and that's kind of they could have, cut that down or edited that a little more, but that's fine. I think the pacing is a little off in the first act. The second act is where we really start to pick up. It's when we start to get dark, more, not gory, but darker, more sinister. We start to learn more, which I like. There's a scene that I can't explain. I don't want this to get, I can't explain for, not restriction purposes, but because I want people to be able to see this. But there's a scene where the murderer makes someone do something very extreme to a woman, which makes her dying. In a sense, he doesn't kill her, but he makes the person kill her. This all finally culminates when there are 2 more sins left. Envy and wrath. Major spoiler warning, by the way. If you have not seen Se7en, skip this part. Please do not watch this. I don't care if you don't want to watch this. Please skip this part. The last 20 minutes, the killer reveals himself, Kevin Spacey's character, as John Doe. So he's saying, he tells the 2 detectives, Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt, he says, I'm going to show them something as my last 2 kills, since there's 2 more people, or 2 more sins left. So they agree. So, Kevin Spacey, he takes the detectives out to a field. And in that field, a man delivers a box. Now, he doesn't know what's in this box. Now, Morgan Freeman opens this box. Spoiler warning! What is in that box? Mill's wife's head. Now, what happened is Kevin Spacey went to their apartment. He says he tried to play husband. That's what he says. And because it didn't work, he killed her. He would have killed her anyways, but that's what he says. Why does he do this? Apart from to get the attention, to have people understand his philosophy and theology. He says, I am envy because I envy your normal life. Because he believes that he is doing God's work. That's pretty silly, but whatever. Now, he's basically saying he wants Brad Pitt to kill him, so that he can become envy and Brad Pitt can be wrath. Personally, what I would do is I would shoot him and try to torture him, but not kill him, so he doesn't get what he wants. She says it ends up with Brad Pitt. He does kill him, and then Brad Pitt gets arrested, which is stupid, by the way. Like, what? It was stupid. He got just went over so much in the, like, 10 minutes, and you're gonna arrest him for that? That's a bit silly to me. But yeah, very good. Watched it with some friends, Christopher and Miles. Yeah, that's all I have to say about Se7en. Next is Arrival. Sheesh, dude, this movie is a freaking roller coaster. Yeah, this is insane. My first Denis Villeneuve film. But I saw some of Dune, but I never finished it because I had a seizure while watching it. But my first movie I've seen in the Olive. Stars Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner. Amy Adams is a linguist, I think the word is. So she knows like every single language. And these aliens come to Earth, and they get her to try to translate what they're saying for her. And then there's Jeremy Renner, who is important for later on, for when I tell the twist. There's also a twist in this movie. That, he's a scientist trying to, like, obviously, if there's an alien, you need a scientist. So, they go to this site, because there's a bunch of UFOs, but they go to the site that's in America, in Montana. And they're basically like, hey, we're going to help. So they help. And they finally figure out how to communicate with them by creating, like, these circle, like, language things that they can draw out to make sentences and words. Now, this is insane. I don't have as much to say about this. I don't know what just happened to the camera, but okay. My whole video might be like this, but I don't care. Hopefully the camera isn't actually. Okay, we're back to normal. I don't know if you saw that on your end, but on my end, it froze up and became black. I don't have as much to say Se7en, apart from the ending. Near the end, Amy Adams' character, she goes into this capsule, a mini version of the UFO, kind of. And she goes into, like, this heaven place. It's, like, this white area. And she's, like, face-to-face with the alien. And when she touches the alien, she gets a flashback of her daughter. She gets a bunch of flashbacks of her daughter. At the beginning, we find out that her daughter died. Right? That happened before this all happened. And, she keeps on getting flashbacks the more and more we get into this movie. We don't know why. So, we find out. Wait, no, let's not get there. Let's not get there yet. She gets these, memories of her, right? And eventually they have to close down because China and Russia are like, yo, we're not giving you the information. No information for you. And they don't want to get in war and stuff. They don't want to get any more drama, I guess you could say, any more conflict than they already have. So, they try to get out of base. But Amy Adams, we find out later when they create peace with the aliens, but Amy Adams calls the, head of, army or something like that at China, and she tells him the last words of his wife. I forget how she knew that, but whatever. So he changed his mind, and they all gave information. He gave information, and because people were following his lead, everyone gave information, which added to the puzzle. Now, why did she have the memories? Spoiler warning again! If you have not seen Arrival and you see this part, you are giving yourself a great disservice. So please do not watch this part if you have not seen the movie. The spoiler, or the twist, is that this was all non-linear. So everything happened was actually before she had the child. They make it seem like it's before the child, but it was actually after. The child and everything was after. How did she know about this? The aliens see time in a non-linear way. Because of this, when she starts reading the language and starts understanding them, and the more she spends time, she is seeing non-linear. She can see the future, even though she thinks it's the past. Hurry up, there's not much. We're getting longer. So because of this, she thought it was all before, but it wasn't, because of how time works. And at the beginning she says memories are a very strange thing. And they find out the dad divorced. Why? Because she got the flashbacks, she knew that the child was going to die of cancer. That's how the child dies. And because of this, the dad divorced her. Which, obviously, because she told her he would have cancer, that'd be a heartbreaking thing to say. If my wife said that to me, I would be very angry at her. But that's not the point. Which is insane, and we find out the husband is Jeremy Renner, Ian, the dude she was with, which is actually insane. It might not sound as insane if you haven't seen the movie, but oh my gosh, I was screaming the entire freaking time. I was like, oh my gosh. But oh my gosh, both these movies are top 50 movies. The month of May has been fire. Not been a single bad movie. The worst movie I've seen is a 4 out of 10, and that would be Ikiru, or 4 out of 5, and that was Ikiru, and it was still a great movie. No bad movies. That being said, that's basically it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you, probably in 5 months when I review another movie. Goodbye.